What's up, JB Illusion here, back in Shadowrun Dragonfall with the adventures of stealth, and also check out the descriptions. You will have the previous story and the story for this episode. Thank you guys for checking it out. Now, let's begin this episode. You step inside, and the squalor of the disused U-Bahn tunnel gives way to the warmth of your safe house. A man waits inside, silhouetted against the dim fluorescent lighting. Paul Amzel. Something bad has happened, hasn't it? He steps forward, revealing a pale and expressionless face, light glinting off of steel-rimmed glasses. Paul Amzel, your team's fixer and landlord, part deal maker, part information broker, one of the most well-connected men in Berlin. His eyes sweep across the room as he takes it all in. The grim faces, the hard stares, Iger's fury, Monica's absence. I had a feeling. How did she... His face is gone ashen. He swallows. Takes a moment to chew on the words before spitting them out. How did it happen? Something in the vault security system got her while she was jacked in. It was over in an instant. What? No, Stealth would say it right now. The run was a setup. One minute she was cracking the safe, the next she was on the ground screaming. Just to sow the seeds of discord and try to figure out who's looking a little bit shady. I've seen Monica hit black ice before. This was something worse. Glory nods, her emotionless, robotic, and spare. Monica died of a biofeedback-induced stroke. That's right. Iger thrusts a gloved finger into your chest, and this idiot stood by and let it happen. Really, Iger? You do know she was in The Matrix. I'm not Decker. Brush her finger aside. That's bull, Iger. You weren't even in the room. Shove her hand away. Poke me again, I dare you. Ignore it. Let it happen. She's jacked in. She screamed and she seized. By the time we saw she was in trouble, it was already too late. What would he do? He can start the fight now. No, Stealth would bide his time. He's gonna say nothing. What? Nothing to say about that rookie? If I'd been in your place, Monica would still be alive and with us. Instead, I left her with you, and now my friend is a corpse in a basement. Oof. Look, Iger, you weren't stuck in the basement with us. You don't know how things went down in there. So do us all a favor and shut it down, okay? Shut it down? Fuck that. Iger turns to face Dietrich. She towers over him, but he stands his ground. I respect you, Dietrich. You know that. But you don't have my training. None of you have. Monica was good. She was the best, right? But she was also overconfident. She treated the job like it was a game. Do that long enough and you're gonna get burned. Iger turns her focus back on you. If you'd been paying attention, you'd have figured all of this out on your own by now. You'd have known that Monica needed watching as much as that door. Enough, Iger. Amzel's voice is hoarse, his expression blank. Enough. Iger pushes ahead, needless to the interruption. Her voice remains measured, but there's fire in her eyes. How many seconds pass before Monica's first convulsion and her plug getting pulled? 4? 5? Do you know how much damage biofeedback can do to a Decker's brain in 5 seconds? Iger, I don't. How dare you know? Steele's still gonna play this cool. Look, this won't... You don't have to answer that. Of course you don't know. Monica died while you stood there and watched. This is all your fault. That is enough. Amzel's voice comes out in a roar, and his fist smashes down on the desk behind him. Iger, you and Stealth can have it out later, but I've had enough. We need to talk action. Our client sent you into something much bigger than he'd led us to believe. I want to know why. Right there with you. This is supposed to be a milk run. Payback isn't the only reason why we need to find him. We saw something back there, something that we weren't supposed to see. It's fair to assume that we're all still in danger. Good point, Glory. He pauses, rubs his temples. Agreed. And to neutralize that danger, we need to know who we are dealing with. Let us review the events that transpired tonight. The smallest detail could be important, so hold nothing back. The estate was a front. Monica lived long enough to say a name, First Wing. She fought hard to tell us it must be important. That's the first thing. Amzel seems taken back. He pauses for a moment before responding. The Fire Wing. This is unexpected. You'll have to forgive me. This brings back many unpleasant memories. Glory raises an eyebrow. The Fire Wing? The most terrible of the great dragons. There are those who would disagree, but they never experienced the terror of living in her shadow. He glances at Glory. You are far too young to remember her, of course. But for Germans of my generation, the name Firstwing is synonymous with chaos, destruction, and death. The dragons of today are subtle creatures, full of patience and guile. Firstwing was not. After her awakening, she went on a 4-month rampage that claimed tens of thousands of lives. Amzel takes a deep breath, slowly releases it. There is a haunted look in his eyes. Those were dark days. Countless men, women, and children were slaughtered, roasted alive in their homes by a creature of legend. No hope for salvation, and no end in sight. It was a horror that you cannot begin to understand. What stopped her? I can't imagine that rampaging dragon would just go away on its own. Eventually, the Fire Wing was brought down by a man named Dr. Adrian Volkler. Well, with the help of the Luftwaffe, of course, but it was experimental weapons designed by Dr. Volkler that finally pierced her hide. She fell in a hail of bullets and rocket fire and crashed down in the radioactive wasteland of the Sox. This event was called the Dragonfall. Safe at last from the dragon's wrath, Germany celebrated Volkner as a hero. Our own Siegfried, a modern-day dragon slayer. My own family practically worshipped the man. If the Dragonfall was so important an event as you make it out to be, I'm surprised that I've never heard of it. Those early years of the awakening were traumatic, Iger. Not just on a national level, but on a global scale. New species of awakened animals were being discovered daily. Within 2 years of the Dragonfall, the active use of magic had returned to the world, a new source of terror for a bewildered public. And in 2021, the sudden emergence of orcs and trolls gave rise to yet another wave of global panic. In light of such turmoil, is it any surprise that Dr. Volkler and the Firewing were forgotten? Dragons were yesterday's news. He rubs his temples. Again, all of this happened decades ago. To the best of my knowledge, the story of Firstwing is a bit of a historical trivia and nothing more. Alright, so Monica spent her dying breath trying to tell us about a long-dead dragon. Iger sweeps her eyes across the group, searching for a glimmer of insight. Finally, she gives up. Any ideas as to why? Really? Because you're super smart, aren't you, Iger? Paul Amzel's voice trembles with frustration. No, it doesn't make any more sense to me than it does to you. The Dragonfall's ancient history. Firstwing has been dead and gone for 42 years. But there's one thing that I do know. Whatever Monica saw, whatever she was trying to tell us, it was important. He visibly struggles to calm himself, takes a deep breath, then slowly releases it. I will look into this. I will find answers. In the meantime, did you turn up anything else of value? Well, the estate being... Well, yeah, let's focus on... After everything went to hell, we were confronted by an orc in military-grade armor. He appeared to be the head of security. That is not much to go on. Do any details about this orc come to mind? Any distinguishing features that I could look into? He was an older guy for one. From the sound of his voice, I'm guessing mid to late 40s. Pretty old for an orc. Because orcs actually do die roughly around. That's grandpa orc. And he'd had skin grafts. Most of his face looked like replacement material. If the grafts came from a legitimate hospital, there may be medical records. Nice, Glory. That is something. I will see what I can find out. Did you note anything else about the run that may be of value? The estate was just a front for whatever was going on in the basement. Emzel nods. That much is clear. It wasn't a minor enterprise either. The facility took serious funds to build. And time. There was more to it than we saw. Places like that don't spring up overnight. And all is secret. The owners, whoever they may be, were none too pleased by your escape, I'm sure. What else did you find? That's all we got. That's not much. Oh, gee, thank you, Iger. Paul Emzel. Emzel nods. His face is drawn and haggard. It is thin, I agree. A basement, a middle-aged orc with skin grafts, and a long-forgotten world event. You haven't said anything about our client yet, Paul. You holding out on us? Whoever sent us knew what we were walking into. Okay, the holding out on us, that's a really good question. Amzel shakes his head wearily. No, Stealth. I'm not holding out. I am tired. And I am frustrated. And I already miss Monica. He takes a moment. I did not think to mention our employer because I did not set up this job. Monica did. His face reddens. I warned her. I told her not to take this run, but she assured me it would be a cakewalk. Monica was approached recently by a man who calls himself Green Winters. He used to be a prominent activist in the F State political scene. I never much liked the man, and I certainly never trusted him. But Monica, she would do anything for her cause, anything for the Flux State. He sighs. Winters swore that the data he was after was crucial to ensuring the future stability of the Flux. And that was all it took. We need to track down Monica's client and press him for information. Yes, most definitely. It is clear that Green Winters has involved us in something much larger than he led Monica to believe. Iger, when he finds out what happened on the run, he's probably gonna rabbit. We need to chase him down before that happens. So we need information on Green Winters, and we need it fast. There is a man here in the Kresbisar, a Turk, named Altog Barakazi. He owns a little soy calf shop just down the way called Cafe Chez. The man is also a purveyor of information. I've done business with him from time to time. And you think he would know something about Green Winters? Amsel nods. When I discovered Monica's renewed association with Green Winters, I contacted Altog. One of his people has been keeping tabs on Winters ever since. As I said, I did not trust the man. For good reason, it would seem. I'll talk to Altog and see what he knows about Green Winters. Pragmatic. Sounds like it's about time I pay Altag a visit. Best to be cautious in our line of work. Should I go meet Altag then? Pragmatic. Yes, tell him I sent you. I will do what I can to dig into the information that you've uncovered already, sparse though it may be. Alright. Everybody looks like they're splitting up. There we go. The question is, who do we go to talk to? What do we go around to look at? Was Dante here? Stealth hates dogs. As you start towards the safe house door, a large four-legged form steps around the corner. Dante, Monica's dog, an enormous mongrel of indeterminate breed. A low whimper emerges as he enters the room, head hanging low. Oh shit, Dante. Dietrich shakes his head. Don't worry, boy. We'll look after you. At the sight of Monica's dog, Amzel's eyes well up. He inhales, but can't quite catch his breath. He started whimpering about an hour ago. Turned into a full-blown howl. Wouldn't stop. Kept... He closes his eyes. That's when I realized something bad had happened. Looking down into those huge brown eyes, you see intelligence and sadness. He lets out a small whine and rubs his head against you. Scratch Dante behind the ears, grab Monica's bag, brush the dog aside. Dante whimpers and looks up at you mournfully. Easy, Stealth. Dante was Monica's dog. That makes him one of us, in a way. Amzel takes a ragged breath and releases it, then a slow, melancholy smile plays across his face. Well, perhaps a part of Monica lives on in Dante. Return to the safe house when you're finished with Altag, my friend. With little luck, he can help us locate Green Winters, and we can get to the bottom of this. He stares at the floor, and now I think we should all take a moment. His lips tighten. For Monica. I wonder if that's actually going to come into play later on in the game. Some people might know what I'm talking about. Let's talk to Dietrich. Dietrich turns his head at your approach. His aging face is traced with a network of faint scars, the legacy of too many fights over too many years. While he still retains a degree of strength and vigor, it's obvious that the shaman you see today is a shadow of his former self. Despite all of this, there's still an aura of power surrounding the man. He raises his bottle, offering it to you. Stealth, welcome. I've got a bottle of schnapps that needs sharing, and we've got a fallen comrade to drink to. Refuse, I don't drink. You drink to Monica. I have a job to focus on. What would he do? I don't drink, but I'll join you in saluting her memory. He does drink, he's just weary of Dietrich. Dietrich shrugs, fair enough, to Monica. He takes a long pull on the bottle, then locks eyes with you. Let me ask you a question, Stealth. What made you choose to come to Berlin? I could leave, nothing particular. I'd rather not talk about it. I had my reasons. Why you want to know? I had my reasons. Such as, come on boss, I'm just trying to figure out who I'm working for here. I think that I deserve to know that much. Maybe Dietrich's playing, we don't know how much Monica has told them of Stealth, so it's time for a change. A member of my old crew betrayed me. Yep. Ain't that a pisser? I can handle all sorts of things, but betrayal always makes me see red. Yeah, I know the feeling. I tried to make him answer for it, but the bastard got away. Right there with you. I ventilated the son of a bitch before I left the Ruhrplex. Yep. Dietrich raises the bottle in salute, then takes another swig. The bastard deserved no less. In your position, I'd have done the same thing. So after all of this went down, you decided to bail out of the Ruhrplex and head to Berlin. Am I getting that right? More or less, there wasn't much left for me in the Ruhrplex, and Monica had made me a hell of an offer. Yeah. Ah yes, Monica. Dietrich raises his bottle again, then closes his eyes and takes a long drink. After the moment has passed, he returns his attention to you. It all comes back to our girl, doesn't it? So let me ask you, just what was your relationship with Monica anyway? I know that you two knew each other way back, but she was pretty coy about these things. What do you want to know? We're treading into dangerously personal territory here. Are you always this inquisitive? Yeah, I suppose. My life's an open book, so I guess I just sort of figure that everyone else's will be too. We were business associates, nothing more. We were friends. We were very close. We were business associates, nothing more. Nah. We were... Stealth is just a little bit of a softy for Monica. We were friends. Right there with you, and privileged to say so. She was one of the best women I've ever known. Anyway, I've taken enough of your time, and the bottle's almost empty. Thanks for taking the time to talk. For what it's worth, I'm happy you're with us. Dietrich takes a final pull of the bottle, then tips it forward, pouring the rest onto the ground. Rest in peace, Monica. We'll miss you, girl. There is another thing that we should take a look at. Let's not talk to Iger. She's a little moody. We can't check it just yet. From what I remember, I guess we'll just have to go into the mission then. Let's head over to find this dude. Altug. Okay. Altug's over here. So we'll just head towards him and see what's up. That's a lovely cafe. I mean, looks a little dirty, but really shouldn't be rude to the man. Altug. Altag, not pronouncing that. The man behind the counter has the broad smile and open demeanor of a classic Turkish street vendor. Welcome, honored Effendom. Welcome. And how can Bergazi serve you today? You would like a cup of coffee, perhaps? Oh, so that's a word for elf. Soy calf, black. Very well, soy calf, he tisks to himself. Paul Amzel sends his regards. Well, he hears Amzel's name, and the Turk's voice lowers. His accent becomes less exaggerated. His eyes take on a knowing look. Ah, very good. Perhaps, please express to Herr Amzel my appreciation of his patronage. If he needs any more catering jobs, seen to in the future, I'm always happy to provide. He tells me you're developing the menu for a friend of his, Herr Winters, I believe. I want to hear about it. There we go. Code words. Yes, yes, of course, O wise one. Kami, come. A young woman bustles from the back room. Her gum chewing is loud enough to hear over the noise of the coffee grinders. Bergazi spits something out in rapid-fire Turkish. As you wish, uncle. I will see to it right away. Kami offers you a shy grin, snaps her gum, and hurries back into the room that she came from. My girl Kami is arranging to make contact with the chef as we speak. This will likely take some time. My chef is a busy man. While we wait, I wonder if you would be so kind as to run a small errand for me. A trifle, really. I hate to trouble you. I'm embarrassed to even ask, but I would be most appreciative of your help. What is this truffle? Altag's voice lowers to nearly a whisper. The errand is simple, hardly worthy of you. I have installed a number of data taps to Berlin's fiber optic network, as part of my civic duty, you see. You understand. These taps provide free matrix access for all who live in the Kresbusa. In order to maintain their, how do I say it, their anonymity, each tap's protocol buffer must be reset every few days. I simply wish for you to visit each data tap and reset it. Simple. Yes, yes. It is a simple job, time-consuming, and a bit tedious perhaps, but simple. Just reset the taps and come back when you are finished. There should be 3 of them scattered around this neighborhood. The first one is just outside. Look for a metal box with yellow arrows painted atop it. By the time of your return, I should have the information Herr Amzel requested. Cool. So off the data taps. Of course, stealth is probably not the happiest man having to do this, but hey, could be worse, right? Let's reset this. The data taps protocol buffer is now reset. We have a couple more to head to. Let's see. I'm not exactly sure how many of them there are, but I do believe that there's some that are this way. The orcs, and there's a troll. He's really interesting. Let's see, data taps, data taps. Where are you? That's a phone booth? What the heck? It's an old, obsolete phone booth. It's ringing. Pick up the receiver. A monotone pitch-adjusted voice begins speaking almost immediately. The Schockenwaters contract for this keys is no more. Stealth is listed as a follow-up contact. Interesting. This is our only secured line to this keys. Please listen to the following instructions carefully if you are a supporter of our cause. Continue listening. We have phone booths in strategic locations throughout the city. With each one you may find a request posted for specific information. If you can obtain a copy of this information, return here and submit it via the port below the receiver. We will verify the authenticity of the information remotely and post an undoctored copy of it onto the Matrix ourselves. It is our stated goal for this information to remain free to all. However, you will be compensated for sought-after information. Return to this location. The line goes silent. Hang up the receiver. Okay, we have another one here. Let's hit that. The DataTap's protocol buffer is now reset. And now we need to find one more. Assuming it's somewhere around the city. I actually think that the city looks really awesome. It's really well designed. There's Zach Flash over there. Nah, we're not looking for any magic potions right now. Where is this last buffer, though? Should be somewhere down here, I would assume. There's an elf dancing in the streets. Okay. Not the most surprising thing ever. We got that one. But where is this last one? I apologize, I must be blind. It'd be awesome if there was one next to our hideout. Doesn't look like it though. Not one up there. Got the one towards the top. Maybe we'll just pass by Zag Flash and there might be one over here. There we go. Last one. As you are resetting the data tap, you notice that someone has duct taped a small homemade receiver to the system. An earplug dangles from the receiver. Put the earplug in your ear. The sound of heavy machinery makes it difficult to hear the words that are being spoken. After a moment you find you can make out two distinct voices, a nasal woman who sounds like a heavy smoker, and a man who speaks in a high-pitched, breathy tone. XXX, just heard XXX, XXX, Monica, blank, need to verify, blank. So someone found out that Monica died. Good for us. Continue listening. A sound like a conveyor belt starting adds to the noise of the machinery, and you can't make out anything else until it comes to a stop a minute later. High-pitched man, think our next step? Wait, isn't ready to make a move yet. Be patient. See who steps up. Could be someone more conveyor belt startup. All you can hear is the sound of machinery. Some sort of motorized vehicle starts up, drowning out everything else. A bell rings loudly again and again. It sounds like a telephone. You hear the sound of a door slamming shut, and the noise of machinery is suddenly muffled. There's a rattle of plastic, and the ringing stops. The nasal woman's voice can be heard again in a sing-song tone. Guten Tag. How may I help you? Silence. Her tone changes, becomes more businesslike. I heard. Silence. Yes, he knows. I told him it wasn't time to make a move yet. What do you think? I'm an idiot? The council needs to meet again. I know getting everyone in the same room is challenging. Getting them to agree on a course of action is going to be even more challenging. From my perspective, the Krezbuzar was only stable because of her. If she really is out of the way, well, we'll see, won't we? Silence. Yeah. I know. What can I say? Things go down in the Flux sometimes. You can hear the sound of the door opening again, and the cacophony of machinery fills the line. You can't make out anything more. Walk away. Oh, Monica. What have you gotten us into? That's it for this episode. We found out some interesting things that are going down in the Krezbuzar, and let's just say Stealth is going to have a lot to think about. Especially about that conversation. Apparently, some people are now interested in free information. What has Monica signed him up for, frankly? As always, please be excellent to each other. Thank you for watching, and check out the stories down below. Have a nice day. Peace.